2 months ago, Beijing began tightening its cross-border controls, starting with a new regulation on outbound investment. Capital, technology, data, AI talent, all came under closer scrutiny. Now, Beijing has further tightened its policy, and this time, the focus is on who can leave or enter China, and under what conditions. On July 31st, Chinese Premier Li Qiang signed a new State Council regulation on exit and entry administration. The 19-article decree will take effect on September 15th. Officially, it is about standardizing border management, protecting the rights of people entering and leaving China, and safeguarding national security and development interests. But look closer, and the regulation is also about when and how authorities can intervene. Article 3 says that the reasons given by people applying to leave or enter China must be truthful and lawful. When authorities want to verify someone's identity or travel purpose, they can ask for documents, materials, and even electronic data. So this gives immigration authorities more room to intervene when reviewing exit and entry applications. So who could be banned from leaving China under the new rules? Article 4 is where the decree's exit controls become more concrete. It says Chinese citizens who obtain exit or entry documents through fraud, illegally cross the border, or engage in overseas illegal activities that endanger China's national security or interests may be barred from leaving China for 6 months to 3 years. Then comes the part that connects directly to our previous video. Article 4 also says Chinese citizens who violate export control rules or technology import and export rules may also be prohibited from leaving the country if their actions are considered a threat to China's industrial or technological security. That wording matters. Earlier this year, Beijing halted Meta's proposed $2 billion acquisition of Chinese AI startup Manus. The company's founders and top executives were reportedly placed under border control while the deal was under review. 4 months later, there have still been no further public updates. Now, the new regulation sets out more clearly the legal circumstances under which exit restrictions can be imposed in cases involving export controls and technology security. In China, executives at state-owned enterprises, as well as public sector employees in schools, hospitals, and banks, have been required to hand over their passports and obtain official approval before traveling abroad. The new regulation doesn't create that system, but it does reaffirm that government agencies and employers may strengthen the management of exit and entry activities in accordance with the law. From Beijing's perspective, the logic is risk prevention. Chinese legal scholar Cheng Shizhong wrote on China's Ministry of Justice website that overseas security risks have increased in recent years, pointing to telecom fraud, gambling, and other illegal activities as risks that need to be stopped at the exit and entry stage. He also described the new technology-related exit restrictions as necessary for protecting China's national security and interests. So, does this mean ordinary Chinese citizens can no longer leave the country? Not necessarily. If someone is leaving China through normal legal channels for travel, work, or study, the decree does not impose a blanket restriction. However, certain groups, such as technology professionals and public sector employees, may still be subject to separate approval requirements before traveling abroad. But how strict this will be in practice is still unclear, especially because we don't know yet how local governments will implement the decree after it takes effect.